All right, good situational day from a football standpoint. We worked some 4-minute, get the ball back scenarios there at the end, a little bit 2-minute coming back. Had really lively competition and really went back and forth. Saw some big plays down the field from offense today. Saw some big stops on third down in our third down competition. But overall, really competitive practice. I think it was a good day for us to get better.
How in-depth of conversation do you have with players after scrimmage on Saturday about where they kind of are on the depth chart?
We're able to talk a lot about depth chart. We talk about how do we get better. Right? That's what we really focus on, right? And how do you get better to where you can be the kind of player that can play for us and operate for us day in and day out on a Saturday. But we go to the doctor, we do a write-up just like we would in a normal game. We review the film, we have corrections, so all those things are the same.
Is that something you do throughout the week, or is there kind of a set time after Saturdays, after scrimmages?
Yeah, we covered it all on Monday, right? And then we figure out what we got to do going forward in the next practices. What do we still need to work on? What do we need to improve on?
What were the deep dives on the scrimmage? What that result in for you guys? What did you find out?
I mean, there's a lot of pieces, right? I think we got a lot of football players that can play. I think we're having more depth. You know, especially defensively right now, have more depth than we did last year. Overall, got the ability to have a lot of guys that can have success. Need to continue to coach the fundamentals, right, when it comes to ball security or attacking the ball, both sides of that, and just playing ball.
What do you hope to do differently, or what are you hoping to incorporate differently this week into the second scrimmage? What are you looking for results-wise in the second scrimmage?
Yeah, we'll just incorporate a couple more situations, right? Try to create the game before the game. You know, talk about scenarios about when it's right to go down as a runner inbounds as opposed to out of bounds. You know, situational football like that.
You mentioned on Saturday with parents out that there'll be guys capable of filling in at tight end. Has anybody actually started doing that on a day-to-day basis in practice and sharing those names?
Yeah, a few people, right? Like Mateo's a guy that's had history. Shipley is a little dinged up right now, but he's a guy that's been able to flip over to the other side. We also got guys like Connerly that lined up at tight end last year in a game. So I think we got a lot of guys that have some versatility there. But certainly a position that we have a need for and have our eyes open for.
Jamal, working a couple different positions here. You mentioned versatility. What about him made him kind of fit there, and what have you seen from him when he's at the second level so far this year?
Yeah, smart player. Tries really hard, plays really hard. I think that shows up consistently. The effort that he plays with can take information, use it to figure out what he needs to do better the next time, and then just plays with a level of intensity. I think he has a lot of respect from his peers.
Last year we saw Jordan James have most of your role in the 14J package, those short yardage packages, but he kind of started to expand that late in the Oregon State game and the bowl game. How have you seen that continue to expand this offseason?
Yeah, I think Jordan's a complete running back. I think he can do all things, and we want to challenge him to continue to do more.
Inside backer, bringing Connor and Destin up now to this 10 practices. Where do they start to fit for you? What do you start to see in terms of upside, sophomore film, what they're trying to Brisbane?
Yeah, those guys are just working really hard. I think we got a really good competitive group that works well, meshes well together. Both those guys are productive players. I think we have a lot more special teams value in those positions this year than we have last year. We want starters to be able to play on special teams for us. But those guys just ultimately, they work really hard, right? And they're starting to reap, the benefits, the fruits of their labor.
At that point, I don't think you've asked too much about the return game. I'm not sure how much life kicking you down, but did anything sort of pop there for you with the kick return?
Yeah, a lot of returner action. I think we have several guys on our team that can go back there and be returners right now. Still trying to find some more consistency now at the punting position. And we've had some guys that are hemmed up a little bit, but I think we have good experience there with Boyle and Cam and different guys that have kicked. But continue to compete at punt and figure out where we're at there.
Overall, you talked this year that defense is kind of taking a step in the second year. Have you seen that happen with special teams a little bit as well?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I think comfortability in the scheme, but ultimately a lot of times it comes to, one person's performance on each play, and we want to find some more consistency on those plays.
You mentioned putting more starters on there, Dan. Again, casual observers will say, well, how come you didn't do that before? But part of it is some of that, especially last season, just you want to risk things with certain guys. Talk about depth, and depth enables you to do that with some guys, where putting some starters on there, maybe not a great idea last season.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately you got to have guys that want to go out there and compete and be great for their team and do that for their team. And when you have great competition, you have a lot of guys that can play. You have more guys that can play special teams.
What did you see from Johnny Gabriel this season? practices?
Yeah, I think he's playing faster and faster every day as he gets more acclimated. You know, obviously Coach Terry's doing a great job coaching him. I'm really excited about his demeanor on the field, and as he continues to pick things up, I think he's got a chance to be really successful.
JJ Greenfield, Broadway, go back to holiday, he was finishing off on the issues quite a bit.
Yeah, he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. He can play a lot of positions, both safety positions with his star position. Again, a guy that can do things on special teams as well. So, you know, appreciate how he's worked.
How are things looking behind Bo, Mix, backups? How's the improvement there? Or how's it going?
Yeah, Ty had a really good day today. I thought today was probably Ty's most impressive practice so far this spring. Thought he did a lot of really good things out there operating as a quarterback. Austin's continuing to come along there. Continue to create more competition at that position.
Got a couple of true freshmen deep safety and kind of the further away you are from the ball. I don't know if you described the idea the further away you are, but theoretically the faster you play or acting. What have you seen from Cody and Tyler and their ability to acclimate quickly?
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that statement. I mean, I think they have a lot more checks and a lot more adjustments than a 3 technique has, right? So. Ultimately, both those guys are working really hard. They do a really good job. So far, I've been impressed with them. You don't want to go back and watch practice today and see how they did, but I saw a couple good hits. They're both willing tacklers. Certainly are willing to put their face in the fan.
What are your thoughts on this spring? Guys are going to go in and out, but in terms of just the timing, because it probably helps more the semester schools who are wrapped up already versus quarter schools that still have a week or 2 to go. And I realize some of that's choice, but what are your thoughts on just the timing of this as opposed to using May or not having the spring window at all?
Yeah, I'd rather it be now than May. I mean, ultimately in May, you're going to be on the road as a coach, recruiting. So it's not like you can be here, to hosting and being at home, checking on house. So we're here. Yeah, the portal's it's here, it exists. So we're going to adapt and adjust to it. But I think we're doing as good a job as anybody when it comes to that.
How do you feel like just the overall team speed's improved since you arrived last spring?
Yeah, I think we're faster. I think we're bigger. I think we're stronger. I think that's really credit to our weight room staff. Coach Love, Jaws, really that whole group in there. Shad, Coach Tupou. I mean, we just got a bunch of guys, Coach Davis, that have done a great job in the off-season training, and then we do a good job of monitoring it too and making sure we continue to hit high speeds.
Is anybody who's kind of got your eye in that sense? He's substantially just appears more athletic than they were last year.
I don't know that I'd say that. Tez hit a deep ball today, and he wasn't here with us last year, but he obviously has some real speed, which is nice to see out there on the field. Appreciate it.
Thank you.